Welcome to In the Movement Fitness and Nutrition with Coach Donovan here. And today we are talking about your ankles, your shins, and your feet. Those are the foundation, those are the roots of your body. So those get to be mobile, agile, flexible, strong, and always possible to keep you moving forward pain-free. And this is your first stretch. Super simple, super basic. You're going to sit down with your legs as straight as you can. If you need to have your knees flexed, you absolutely can as well. You're just going to point your toes as far forward, slow, going forward, and then a little bit faster on the way back. You can adjust your hands any way you need. I prefer having their fingertips facing away from the body versus forward, but listen to your body. That's most important. Keep everything engaged and look at how your ankles are moving. Are they moving evenly? Do you have more control of one side versus the other? Really try to flex them all the way down so the bottoms of your feet can touch the ground and then pull them back up. If you need to adjust your body as you go, adjust your body so nothing is getting tight and your sole and only focus is those feet. All right, and for your second stretch here, same positioning with the legs. Nothing new here. Hand position is the same as well. And what you're going to be looking for is creating circles with your big toes. All right, you're going to go clockwise. You're going to go counterclockwise. You're going to get a lot of snap, crackle, and pops in there. And remember, same as before, knees can be slightly bent for this one. Keep everything tight and engaged. Watching your feet, see how they move clockwise, see how they move counterclockwise. Are they even? Are they not? Assess your body as you go. Here's a good one for you. We have a tibial rotation here. So you're going to see me grab my hand and I'm going to take it right below my kneecap, feeling for the tibia, which is a bony protrusion right below the knee. Some people can feel it, some people don't. The purpose of me holding that is to make sure that I'm not moving from the ankle and I'm actually rotating the tibia. So keeping the heel down, you're going to rotate as far as you can with the foot as your guide. Pulling your toes upward or downward, it doesn't matter. Listen to your body. I'm a runner, so I do pull my toes upward because that's my running technique and my running form. If you're a dancer, fighter, MMA, whatever it is, listen to your body and see what's best. Good old balance here. So, preferred, no shoes, no socks. Feel the ground beneath your feet. You have a lot of nerves coming to those. So you want to be able to feel what you're doing and stabilize. Slightly bending the knee to challenge your flexibility and the balance. Get as low as you comfortably can without falling. Back leg could be behind you as you're going, just for some balance. And if you need to feel the ground really quickly and pull yourself right back up. Hands can go anywhere you feel comfortable. I do like to play with my hands as I am holding my balance to create a little bit more instability as I'm going. You can do whatever you feel is best, but be sure the knee is bent, tracking over the toes as far as you can. Building the strength in the feet and the ankle is very important. A great way of doing that is simple calf raises. As you're doing a calf raise, you can hold on to something for balance. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're going to do it without balance or with balance, squeeze your glutes. It's very important when you're going for your calf raises because it activates and trains your posterior chain, which is heels all the way up to the upper back. As you're working on this one, lift up the heels as high as you comfortably can, fast up. A little bit slower on the way down is always the goal. If you're focusing on the balance and you're not holding on to something, it's going to be just a little bit harder. So listen to the body and move both ankles evenly. Assess yourself if you're not. This is a half kneeling ankle stretch. You can use a weight or just your body weight for this exercise. You want to line your knees up with your hip and then draw your knee over the toes. I'm using my elbows here to push and put a little bit more pressure onto the knee as I am stretching out my ankle. Keeping my ankle engaged, creating an arch in my foot, I'm pushing everything forward. My toes are on the ground, trying to splay them as much as possible. When a stretch is no longer sustainable, leaning back just to open up the ankle again and then coming back into it is a great way to rinse and reset this exercise. Another way to benefit from this stretch is creating small circles using your knee. Very small, of course, if you have the ankle flexibility, you can increase the size of those circles. But listening to the body, pulsing forward is another way you can do something in this exercise, or creating those circles as I mentioned. Anything and everything is great for the ankle. Just be sure that your knee is in line with the hip and the knee is reaching over the toes to create that stretch for you. When it's no longer sustainable, lean back just to open everything up. As you lean back, keep the heel and toes down and keep it very active. This exercise is an advanced stretch for your ankles because you're also putting a lot of tension onto your knees. Keeping the palms down, tops of your foot onto the ground, hips on the heels, pushing your hips back onto the heels to create more pressure on the top side of the ankle. This is going to be the easiest version. To make this a little bit harder, move the hands backward, keeping your chest up tall and pushing all of your weight towards those ankles. If you feel anything in your knees, I recommend not doing this stretch because you're putting too much tension on the knees where it's uncomfortable. To make this stretch even more advanced, leaning back, placing your hands behind you and breathing through this exercise. You're not only putting more pressure onto your knees, but you're also now putting a little bit of pressure on your low back. If you are uncomfortable, if you are inflexible, and you don't feel it, do not do this stretch. Listen to your body. That's going to be key. Take your time, and breath is very important in this exercise. Another way of getting into it is the simple child's pose. Hands are going to be reaching forward, still pushing the hips back, and to loosen everything up, just take one leg back just to stretch out the ankle, stretch out the foot and the hip, and then rinse and reset. Another advanced stretch here, taking the outside edge of your foot towards the ground, lifting up your heel to really intensify this stretch, and then leaning forward to release it. You want to push the top side of your foot towards the ground, keeping your heel up in the air. As you see here, I'm showing off my arch, or non-existent one. Do that to really intensify the stretch. The higher up the heel, the deeper the stretch is. Listen to the body. It might not be comfortable for you. Test your limits and don't push it too much. Your ankles are very fragile. So listening to the body is key. Whenever you need to release, go for the release. Classic foam rolling. One of the favorites for many people. If you have a foam roller, this is going to be great for you. And if you don't have a foam roller, it's okay. You can grab a bottle of water and freeze it, and it will do the same, if not better, justice for your calves. For a foam roller, you want to take one calf and roll back and forth until you find any trigger points or knots. When you do find them, roll on them or take your calf and shift the weight side to side to iron that knot or trigger point out. If that point is painful, the pain so you don't hurt yourself moving forward. You want your body to feel good, you want your body to feel great, and that's why you're here working on your calves. Work the meaty parts, don't go below the knee, it's unnecessary. You want to work in the tension. If putting the weight of one calf on the foam roller is too much with another leg crossed over, just roll back and forth, flexing your knee. Same as before, feel the knots, feel the trigger points, iron it out back and forth or side to side. Another technique to get a little bit more blood in those calves is creating circles. Going clockwise and counterclockwise, listening to the body, you might even get some snap, crackle, and pops in there. Assess yourself, is one leg tighter than the other? Keep working on the one that's tighter and still work on the other one. Thank you for joining in within the movement with Coach Donovan. Keep stretching your ankles, keep stretching those calves, and you'll feel good tomorrow.